Hi, everybody. How are you? Okay, so just so you know, it's Wednesday. It's 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. I actually had to check that today. So let's get started. I'd like you to start actually seated. So we're going to sit down right on your butt with your feet out in front of you and your hands behind you. So, like so. I like to have my hands so the fingers face the bum with your feet hip width apart or even more. And you're just going to start to actually do your windshield wiper leg. So simply letting the knees fall one side and then the other. All the while you keep a little lift in your chest and letting the knees fall to the ground. So it's just really simple. I love this because it feels a little bit like you're foam rolling your glutes as you do this. If you do it really slow, you can actually feel those big muscles in your butt getting a little rollover. So it looks a little like this if you're facing forward. So just letting the knees come all the way down. Now, for some reason this doesn't work for your body, maybe just let them swish literally like windshield wipers of the car. But if you can, let them come all the way down. Let that inner knee touch the floor. Just a couple more times like this. How is everyone? Good. Let the shoulders come away from your ears. And you can press into your knuckles of your hands. So this next time we go over to either side, it doesn't really matter, but you're going to go over to the side. Let both knees come down. If you can, take your arm and reach it back behind you. Little twists, like you were clearing away the fog. And just stay there. Take a nice big twist. Push down into the arm, the hand that's on the floor. And then reach back. Come back, other side. Let the knees fall. Let that arm come around for a twist. Reach as far as you can go. So you're extending out of the waist through the fingertips. And come back. Okay, a few more windshield wipers. Oh, there's nothing like starting with windshield wipers. I think this is the first yoga pose I ever learned. And I still love it. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so let's do that again. This time you're going to come over. This is the option. You can go over and just sort of like move your arm, come into a twist, or you can push down into that bottom arm, come up onto your knees, and reach over your head for a side stretch. Now that top leg can also extend. Push down into your foot. Send your hips forward. Take a nice juicy stretch. So this top leg is active, and the top arm reaches over you. One more breath. Good, and then slowly come down. Let your hips come down first. Arm sweeps over, other side. Okay, so option to stay here with a twist or come onto your knees, lift up, reach over. So remember the bottom hand grounds, or you can now extend that top leg and reach out of your waist. Really good. Reach through your fingers, take a deep breath. Beautiful, and then come down. Ah. Okay, somebody requested hips today, so here we are. Okay, so come down now and let's shake out the wrists a little bit. You can actually take the back of your hands together, push them together, and then you're going to come in into a forward fold like this. So if you can sit this way, great. You might need some foams to add to this. And all we're going to do is sit here, and if you can add a little fold, you can walk your hands forward. So you're remaining on your sitting bones. You're just simply walking the fingertips out in front of you. Those of you who have, where you're not able to do that, you can have your feet like a butterfly position, almost like you were in a diamond shape, and just fold over yourself this way. So this gives your back a little more room. You're just simply breathing. If your fingertips are out in front of you, you can drop your chin toward your chest, round your shoulders a little bit. So let go of any of the holding around your neck. Anything that you're holding on to here, just simply let it melt into the floor below you. And just remember to breathe. So you're always coming back to that present moment. So when you're actually focusing in on your breath, there's nowhere else you can be. So it's like the mind is going to wander off, but just keep coming back to that experience of listening to your own breath here, in and out. Okay, one more here, deep inhale. Okay, long exhale. And you're gonna use your hands to come back up. So please press with your fingertips to rise back up. Beautiful, and we're just gonna switch sides. So whichever foot was in front last time, let's just switch it up. Bring the other foot in front. Good. And then you're gonna cross over, lift up, lift through the chest. Use your hands, walk it up. If you like adding a little side stretch here, a little lateral stretch, so making sure the sitting bones are grounded as you find this stretch here. Over to the other side. Okay, again, you can drop your chin. So letting go of most of the effort. You still have to have some effort, right? But not so much so that you're like pushing your way through the efforting. You can use your fingertips to push the floor away. Notice where you're feeling this in your back. Okay, drop your chin again. Okay, just one more huge breath here. Relax the shoulders. You're going to walk your hands back in slowly. Fingertips walk up. Bring your legs out in front. Give them a little shake. Take some hand, make your fist with your hands. Just give them a little tap out. All the way down. All the way back up. Good. Okay. And then come into a downward facing dog. So slowly just start there. Hands and knees. And take your time. Maybe you extend out one foot at a time. One knee lifts. Take your time. Make your way in. Okay, so notice if we have the tendency to want to rush into the next thing. And right now, life is forcing us to, in a way, pay attention a little more to how we rush to the next thing. There's nowhere to go. So then we're kind of forced to sit with ourselves. Isn't that fun? Some days. Okay, drop your knees, take a child's pose. Now let your knees go wide when you take this child's pose. Palms are open. Okay, bring your forehead to the floor. And I want you just to rest here for a moment. I want you to get the knees nice and wide and take up a lot more space for your groin, for your low back. So breathe all the way down into your hips. You want to extend that breath all the way down. Notice right now if you're just breathing up in your lungs or your throat, the upper chest. So the way that I can check to see if that's happening for me is just to bring my awareness to the belly. I mean, we're not really breathing into the belly, but you can just see, is your belly expanding as you breathe in? Can you open and expand? Is your rib cage expanding outward when you breathe in? And can you just exhale and contract slightly? It's as if you were filling up your entire torso with breath. Just in and out. As if you had gills. Imagine like the gills of a fish opening up, or an accordion maybe. So just expanding, contracting. Take one more breath here. Okay, open your mouth, maybe even stick out your tongue. Let go of any tension in your jaw, your face. And slowly, slowly rise back up into your tabletop. So here we are, table. Inhale to look forward for cow. And exhale, just round your spine. Stay here with your chin tucked in and reach back like you were going to go into a child's pose. Just feel that deep stretch of your back. You can come up onto your tippy fingertips and around your shoulders. And then come back to the front. Good. Look forward again. Downward facing dog. One more time here. Okay. So from here, we're going to add a little bit of fire and still staying with the hips and the glutes. So here we go. So we're going to do, it's going to look like this. You're going to take one knee forward, like you're going to do knee to nose, like a plank pose. And you're just going to touch it back when you come to down dog. Lift that leg up, touch it back down, and bring it back in. And we're just going to keep going. Touch the ground, reach it up, touch down, knee to nose. Touch, up, touch, in, touch, up, down, and in. A few more. Touch, lift it up, touch it down, bring it in, shoulders over wrist, touch the ground, toes up, down, in, touch, all the way up, down, good, and then in, hold it here. I want you to squeeze your belly, lift it up, lift that knee a little higher. Good, now reach it all the way back into that three-legged dog. So here we are. Now this may be your other leg, your knee is bent. You can lift that top leg up and start to bend it open. Stack your hips, okay? So here your heel is moving towards your buttock. Shake out your head, okay? Spread your toes. So your heel is moving away from your knee. Your knees are moving apart. You might even come up onto your fingertips of that same side with your fingers. Okay, extend, get longer in the side body. One more breath. Bring it down. Good, bring your knees down. This time a puppy stretch. So you're gonna keep your knees where they are and just let your arms come forward, your head comes down. Just rest here. Okay, palms open, or you can take a nice little juicy stretch for the shoulders. Fingertips can come, your thumbs might come to the back of your neck for your shoulders. Okay, set your shoulders away from your ears, pull your belly in. Beautiful, and then release that down. So you're gonna come back up, tabletop. Let's try the other side. Downward facing dog, beautiful. Other leg, you're gonna lift it up just for a moment, beautiful. Okay, so here we go. You're gonna bring the knee in, knee to nose, touch it down, bring it up, touch it down, bring it in. Touch, up, down, and in. Squeeze that belly, touch, up, down, and in. Squeeze. So your whole body's working together. Your core includes your quad, includes your whole midsection. Okay, so finding a little fire, a little bit of Agni, they call it. Ooh, beautiful. Touch down, reach it up, touch, bring it in. Keep going. Toe touches, up, down, in, touch, up, down, and in. Stay with me. I'm with you. Beautiful. Two more. Touch, up, down, and in. Good. Touch, up, down, and in. Hold. Belly lifts. You can have a little rounding in your shoulders. Squeeze the belly, lift the knee, and bring it back. Three-legged dog. Lift that leg high. Push deep into your hands so your knuckles root. Now your other knee can bend. Lift up and then see, can you open up here? Stack your hips. Spread your toes. Okay, belly to the spine. And then open up. It's fun to hang upside down. Spread the toes, maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. One more breath. Squeeze your glute so you're like hugging it in. And then release. Beautiful. Okay, from here, down dog, and walk your hands back to your feet. Stay in your fold. Grab your opposite elbow. Sway your body side to side. Nice. And then walk it back. Let's come back into a plank position. Slowly, slowly. Finding that long plank. So shoulders over your wrist. Heels press back. Belly scoops in and up and draw your shoulders back. You're just going to rock it forward and back a few times. Keep lifting the belly in. Good. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Do that again. Just inhale to your plank. Exhale, downward facing. Take your right leg or any leg. Bring it forward. Runner's lunge. Okay, stay here. Put your hands on the inside if you can. And just slowly here, again, you can rock it forward and back. Just a couple of times. Just like imagine you're just flossing that hip. Good. So my right foot is on the floor. I'm going to press down into the big toe mat on my right foot. I'm going to keep my right fingertips down on the ground. Left hand is going to come to the left hip. Okay? So here, my left heel pressing back. You can't see it if you're on the Instagram Live. And you're just going to start to turn your torso to the side. Your left arm might reach to the horizon, or you might start to open it up. Keep pressing through that back heel. So this is hip flexor. Good. Open, open, open. Take a deep breath all the way down into your hip flexor. And one more breath. Okay, bring it down, bring your hand down. Beautiful. Plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog, all the way back. Walk it up. Just walk it up. Shake out your head. You're going to switch sides here. Take your left leg back. Step it through. Okay. So maybe I'll come this way this time. All right. So you're just going to rock it forward and back a couple of times. Just pressing the heel. So that front shin moves forward. Back heel goes back. Take your hand on the inside. Okay, and then you're just gonna open to the side. Keep the back heel pressing back. See if you can sink a little deeper in that front hip. So you feel that oppositional force working here. And then you can take the arm out to the side, to the horizon, or start to rotate the whole torso here. But keep your legs on. Keep that back leg strong if you can. Okay, and then open, open. Press through the inner part of that back heel. One more big breath here. Okay, bring it down. Slow, slow, slow. Back into a downward facing dog. All the way back. Walk it out. Shake out your head. Beautiful. All right. Now you're going to step forward and bring your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Okay, so you're going to come here into a little huddle. Stay here with your feet pointing forward just slightly or out to the side. You can stay like that, or you're going to come down into a little squat. So see if you can drop your bum, keep your hands in, and just walk your feet wide enough that you can sink down into your hips. So remember, if your knees don't like this, you can stay up in the huddle and just work on maybe a little pulsing. If you can come down into your hips, please be here. So elbows, press your knees wide. And then press your knees into your elbows right here. Okay, lift your pelvic floor away from the ground and lift your chest. Just breathe, allowing the shoulders to soften down your back. Almost like you were knitting your shoulder blades together. Okay, just really deep, calm breaths in and out. Start to lift your toes away from the floor. Okay, soften your jaw. Keep pressing the knees apart. Lift the hips even higher, the pelvic floor away from the ground. One more breath right here. Beautiful. And then you're going to slowly bring the hands down and let's start to straighten, take a fold, walk your feet a little bit wider, or a lot wider, actually. Good. Stay in this deep fold. Almost like you were taking a wide downward facing, you're going to walk your hands forward. Okay, so press into your fingertips. You can bend your knees here, but send your hips back. Nice, toes are soft. Pull your belly in and start to walk your hands back in. Okay, turn your toes out a little bit and we're gonna come back up slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, so staying here, you're gonna come into a goddess pose. So your feet are wide, toes and knees in the same direction. All right. You're gonna squat down. So unlike a squat where you send your bum back like that, in the goddess pose, you drop the tailbone directly towards the floor. So it's more like this, okay? Like a plie. So you're gonna drop in. Nice, now stay here, and I want you just to rock it back and forth. So this is not easy. This is like stepping into the fire and staying with yourself there. So notice what you can find. I'm gonna, if you're a yogi, you know that the breath is the key to this, is a willingness to stay with the sensations, but also just to stay with yourself, with your breath. So just rock it side to side. Stay here. Maybe going a little lower, a little wider, or Or maybe you back off and you come up a little bit higher and you just rock it here. Good, so wherever you are, soften your jaw. Okay, so take your arms out and you can just start to open, 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 open. Maybe you start to pulse it up and down. Good. Stay here. Toes are soft. Good. Now this time I want you to stay in your goddess. Take your goddess arms. Fingers are spread. Drop a little lower. Stay here. And now lifting one heel at a time. Good. Breathe. Breathe. 2. Beautiful. Stay. One more breath. And then come up. Ah. Nice. Okay. From here, let's just go back into the front. You're going to come forward. So let's say your right leg. Everybody come onto their right leg. And their back toes are on the ground. So crescent lunge. Just pause here. So I want you to find your back glute, squeeze it on, bend your knee, your back knee, like it were driving into the floor, and then get a little lower in that front thigh. You got it. Take just 2 breaths here. Just keep your hands on your hips. Beautiful. One more. Okay, and then from here, all you do is bring your hands to the floor. Beautiful. Drop that knee down on the ground. Okay, bring your hands up on top of your thigh. Staying here so your shoulders and your hips line up. And you can curl your back toes under. Okay, so you're here, squeeze the back glute. So there's not a lot of weight happening in that front leg, right? So you can give it a gentle press. Maybe push your hand into your thigh to create some more space in your front hip flexor. Nice. Great, so take your hands behind your back of your head. And then here, you're going to interlace your fingers, press the back of your head into your hands, and lift your chest. So squeezing the shoulder blades, fire up the back muscles. Keep your elbows wide, pull the belly in. Stay here, keep that back glute on, and then lift your heel. This is optional. Lift your heel, and then start to drop the tailbone down. Okay, breathe deep into that front hip. Lift the chest, keep the chest opening. Push your head into your hands, one more breath. Okay, and then drop it down. Heel comes down, hands come down. Really good. So here, just open it up. Curl your toes back, send your hips back. Straightening the front leg as much as you can. So some of you, it may look a little different. It could be bent, but just keep the hips back and see if you can curl your toes toward your nose. Okay, belly in, heart forward. You might even start to hinge a little bit. One more breath. Good. And then you're going to come forward into the lunge. Hands can be on either side. Frame your front foot. And let's step back into a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Shake it out. So any tension in your jaw, just open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Make some noise. You're going to step your other foot forward, your left foot. Mine's the left foot. Good. Okay, so I'll do it this way. You're going to come in. You're going to bend your back knee. Shoulders over hips. So you're just staying here. Now squeeze your back glute on. And just take a deep breath. So you're like staying here with that sensation. Just be with yourself here. Let the knee come towards the floor as if it were driving into the floor to lengthen your front body. So remember, when you're squeezing the back body, you cannot be working the front body at the same time. Okay, so they're in opposition with each other. So you're squeezing. Beautiful, just stay like this. Okay, so just take 2 more breaths. Relax the shoulders, there's nothing to do with your arms. One more here together. Inhale fully. It's a big exhale, let it go. Okay, slow and steady. You're going to come down. I think this is what we did. Bring your knee to the floor. I've already forgotten. Okay, come on into your kneeling down lunge. So again, you're here with that knee on the ground. Squeeze the butt, shoulders right over your hips. So find that 90-degree angle. Curl the back toes. It's a little kickstand. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Stay here. You can give that front thigh a little lengthening. So just a little action. So push it away. Squeeze the belly in. Okay, just being here with yourself for a couple of breaths. Shoulders down your back. Let the breath come all the way down. Let it settle down. Okay, so you're now taking your hands, same thing. You're going to interlace the back to the back of your head. Push the head back in. Notice when you push your head into your hands that it lifts the sternum bone right away. And stay with that sensation of lift. Drop the shoulders down the back and then slowly lift your heel. See about coming down. So let the tailbone drop, let your hips come forward. So this is a bigger stretch, right? So you don't have to come here. You could stay back where you were. Okay, 2 full deep breaths. Lift that heel a little higher, squeezing that back glute still. One more together, inhale. Okay, and then exhale, just softly drop the heel, hands to the floor. Now you're coming into that half split pose. So the toes curl up, straighten that front leg. Let your heart move towards your toes a little bit more, shoulders back. It's all the repetition. Over and over. I'm still getting used to not seeing bodies in front of me and actually practicing. This is the weirdest thing. I've never done the poses and taught the poses at the same time. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done that. So thank you for being patient with me. So keep curling the toes up. Feel that stretch in the calf muscle, maybe all the way down into your Achilles and in the hamstring, definitely. One more huge breath. Good. Okay, come into the lunge. Hands on the floor. You're going to step back into downward facing dog. Walk it up. Walk it up. Nice. Okay. So slowly come back into your plank position. All right. I'm going to try to be on the screen here. And then you're going to just drop your knees to the ground. Okay. And slowly lower one little bit at a time, all the way down to the floor. Okay. So you're in your position here. Let your feet come out a little bit wider. Okay, hands going to be a little bit closer to your midway point, not at your shoulders, but not at your waist. Good. And then just start to slowly letting the legs be a little bit soft. I want you to take the arms up and back down. Lift and down. Lift. Feel all of the back muscles here working, especially through the mid-back and lower back. Squeeze the shoulders as you come up and down. So you're giving your abdominal muscles a little squeeze. The heart is getting a nice little rinse. Beautiful. If you feel up to it, you could take your hands down and come up and down. Literally rinsing out the kidneys, rinsing out the heart. Using those biceps. Good. And then come down, slowly rest here. Bring your hands out in front. So we're going to do a little hip opener here on the belly. So what we're going to do is take the knee out to the side. Okay, I'm doing the right. You guys are going to see maybe do your left. It doesn't matter. You're going to bring that knee out to the side, up towards your elbow a little bit. Okay, so you're going to then, you can take your forearms to the floor and you're going to listen here. So you can stay with your eyes in the same direction as that knee, or you could pick up your whole torso and add a little twist. That means that your eye gaze is going to go the opposite way. So slowly begin to turn. So those bottom ribs, my right ribs, are now turning more towards the floor. Left ribs are turning up. So you're adding a little twist. Good. So you can choose here, letting the eyes again be in the direction of your knee, or adding that deeper twist, letting your breath come all the way down into your back. And we're just here for a couple of breaths, so stay with that. So you want to know that it feels like it's doing something. It's not tweaking your low back in any way. But you're able to breathe. You're able to breathe all the way down into your belly. Let that breath massage your internal organs. Let it meet up against the floor. Allow your shoulders to be soft. Just take one more breath on this side. Good. Using your arms again or your hands, push down, and then slowly just straighten that leg back. And give your hips a little wiggle side to side. And you're going to do the other side. So you're going to take that other knee up. Just find your way here so you can stay eyes in the same direction as your knee, or you can find a little bit more of a twist. So this time my left ribs are going to be more twisting towards the floor. Right ribs will lift. Eyes towards the opposite of your knee. So if you are a belly sleeper, maybe you sleep like this already. At night, I love sleeping like this. Okay, allow your breath to move all the way down into your lower back. And then when you exhale, just soften. See where you can let go of tension, of tightness, discomfort in your body. Whatever you've been holding onto all day. So you can place it down here. Just let it go. You carry a lot of emotional sort of baggage in the hips. They're doing sort of the heavy lifting for us sometimes. We store our stuff. Our emotions tend to kind of sit in the fascia of the body until they're brought to the surface. So just let them come to the surface. Use your breath to meet them. You're safe in your body. It is safe to be in your body. Feel the ground. One more breath here. Grounding into the arms or the hands. Bring your gaze back to neutral and slowly straighten out that back leg. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Now squeezing the legs. See if you can come up into a cobra. So your cobra might be here. You might have a sphinx pose. If you can come all the way up, just give your whole body a rinse here. Squeeze the legs, lift the chest forward, drop your shoulders down. Maybe even look up. Stretch the whole front of your body, including your throat. Drop the shoulders. One more breath. Beautiful. And then you're going to slowly come back into a tabletop just for a moment. And take a wide knee here. And come into your child's pose. Stay in your child's pose. Just let your arms, your palms be open to the ceiling. Maybe let your hips wiggle side to side or stay in full stillness for now. And just let the breath come all the way down into your hips once again, just letting that whole space fill up. Soften, soften, soften. Good. Just take one more here together. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, rise on up into your tabletop. Do any movement that feels really good right now. So you might take table and take your rib cage side to side, just letting your body open up until we come and meet on your back. So you're gonna lie your back here, bring your knees in towards your chest, squeeze them in, squeeze them in, squeeze them in, roll side to side. Really good. So just for a moment, I want you to take here, you're going to take that lying down pigeon pose, so figure 4. You're going to take one leg on top of the thigh and reach through. See if you can grab the back of your leg. Just start to pull that leg in as you press through your heels. Drop your shoulders. If you need support for your neck and shoulders, place a pillow underneath your head. I've got one of these. I've got my amazing dinner roll. So I could do this. You can kind of have that as support so you can, you're not straining your shoulders. And then you can pull it in a little bit closer. And I like to add a little bit of movement. So sway your hips side to side. Okay, just a couple more breaths. You're going to squeeze that leg in even more if you can. The right knee, so my right foot is on top. So my right knee is moving away from me. One more huge breath here. And then you're going to let go. So listen up. You're going to let go of the arms only. And then from here, place the left foot on the floor. So my left foot is on the floor. I'm going to walk my hips over to the right, and I'm going to place my right foot down on the ground for this twist. I'm going to reach down with my left hand and grab my right shin, if you can, or ankle. And just start to pull that knee away from you. So again, this is very individual, and because I can't see you, it really bugs me. I can't see you guys. So do what feels good here. If you'd rather do eagle twist or regular twist, you can stack your knees on top of each other. So whatever works, okay? Foot on the ground might work for you. One more big breath here, inhale. Exhale. Okay, slowly come back to your center. Nice. And then place both feet on the floor and just do some windshield wipers here. Side to side, just letting go of any of that bunched up feeling in the hips and the hip flexors. And then you're going to place your other foot on top. So I'm going to take my left foot, place it on my right thigh, grab my little pillow, and then walk my toes in and see. I have a little injury in my left knee right now, so this is as far as I'm going to go. So my toes stay on the ground, and I'm just going to gently press my left thigh away from me to create that external rotation of my left thigh, pressing through the heel. And I feel that, but I could walk my toes in a little closer, or maybe even lift my toes off the ground to get a little extra. But I can't bring my knee. So just breathing towards your hips. And as you do this, always just paying attention, where are you holding unnecessarily? Can you soften your jaw and your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, your shoulders? One more huge breath together. Use that exhale to soften more. You can bring your foot down, right foot down. You're going to walk your hips to the left a little bit and take, so my left foot is on top, so left foot is going to come to the ground for a twist. Again, you have the option here of taking eagle legs, which feels this is my favorite, eagle legs, or again, stack your knees to take your twist. If you need to get rid of the pillow again, you can do that, and just encourage a little deeper opening of your rib cage. The twist is so good for all of your internal organs. You're giving them a nice little juicy rinse. Your liver, your stomach, your intestines. So good for your digestion. So your nervous system now is starting to respond to these bigger breaths, letting it come back and regulate into a sense of being in the relaxation mode. Okay, come back slowly, again, really slow, come back to center, bring your feet to the ground and let your knees go side to side. One last time, you can bring your knees in toward your chest, hold on just below the knees, and take the knees wide and just rock them out side to side. Squeeze the knees in. Bring your forehead toward your knees. And then you're going to release, bring your feet down. Take whatever pose for Shavasana feels amazing for you. This is what feels amazing for me. Legs spread out and arms are wide. So just take your time here. Please stay as long as you need. If you have to come out, please come out really carefully. You can bring your knees back in and come up, but you are welcome to stay here as long as you can. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I so appreciate it. I worked up a little sweat today. Maybe you did too. Until next time, I'm with you always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.